We are now looking at question number 21. The question reads, the heights of 40 athletes in a county athletics competition were shown in the table below. Height in centimeters, frequency 150 to 159, 2, 160 to 169, 8, 170 to 179, 10, 180 to 189, X, 190 to 199, 6, and 200 to 209, 2. Part A. Find the value of X, 1 mark. B. State the model class, 1 mark. C. Roman 1. Calculate the median height of the athletes, 4 marks. And C part 2. Calculate the median height correct to 1 decimal place of the athletes. Part A. Find the value of X. So here we're supposed to get the value of X. Alright, and we have already been told that these are the heights of 40 athletes. What frequency means is that this represents the number. For example, between 150 to 159 there are 2 individuals, and all these should add up to 40. So for us to get the value of X, we know that everything should add up to 40. So we can clearly see and say that 2 plus 8 plus 10 plus X plus 6 plus 2 equals 40. And in this case, we can make X the subject is as simple as that. We just need to add 2 plus 8, that is 10, 10 plus 10, that is 20, 20 plus 6, that is 26, 26 plus 2, that is 28. So X will simply be 40 minus 28, which is 12. So the value of X is 12. State the model class. Now we have the value of X here as 12. So what we mean by the model class is usually the class with the highest frequency. By just introspecting, by just having a look, we can clearly see that 12 is the highest frequency, and the corresponding class to that is the class 180 to 189, and we can write it more precisely considering the boundaries. So like 180 we can get what is called the lower class limit, and 189 we can get what is called the upper class limit, which is usually 0.5 plus or minus. So the lower class limit therefore subtracted from 180 yields 179.5, and the upper class limit, you add 0.5, you shall get 189.5. So the model class is 180 to 189, but more precisely 179.5 to 189.5. Part C. Calculate the mean height of the athletes. Now for us to calculate the mean, we know that mean for group data, like in this case our data is grouped, is usually given by summation of fx over summation of f. So this requires us to come up with a table, a frequency distribution table, which shall help us get summation of fx, but we already have summation of f. So let's do the table as follows. We now have the table. We now need to populate it. The first class 150 to 159, and finally 200 to 209. The midpoint x will simply be the sum of the two numbers divided by 2. For example, 150 plus 159 divided by 2. And if you do that right, you'll get 154.5. and 204.5. The frequency. To get the cumulative frequency, we shall add the frequencies cumulatively. So we are starting with 2. So 2 is our starting point. Then the next number will be 2 plus 8, which is 10. 10 plus 10. So the last number on the cumulative frequency column should be the same as the total frequency. Next, we are going to calculate fx. To get fx, we are going to multiply f, the column f, by the column x. So the first one is 154.5. So here we shall need a calculator, 154.5. And we are multiplying that by 2 to get 309. The next 164.5, and we are multiplying that by 8 to get 1316. Next 174.5, multiply that by 10, that's obviously 1745. 204.5, we are multiplying by 2 to get 49. So we have populated the table. Now the next thing we need to do is to get the summation of fx. So we need to get the values here. Summation of fx, and we shall just use our calculators to add the values. So we are going to do 309 plus 1316 plus 1745 plus 2214 plus 1167 plus 409. So we're getting 7160. So that's the summation of fx. Now the last step, having found summation of fx, is to just plug the values into our equation here. And we have found that summation of fx is 7160, and summation of f is 40. And if you do that right, you're going to get 179. And we talk about height, so 179 centimeters. Next, we have to calculate the median height correct to 1 decimal place. Now to get the median height, we need to get a few things. Median, which can well be represented by the mid quartile or the 50th percentile, or Q2, is usually given by L plus into bracket n over 2 minus C, all that over F times I, where L represents the lower class limit of the median class, N represents the total frequency, C represents the cumulative frequency above, F is the frequency of the median class, and I represents the class interval. Now So we have just observed a few trends. First, we need to establish the median class. And what we usually do, we can get a rough estimation by doing n over 2. N over 2 will simply be 40 over 2, and that will be 20. Now, since n over 2 is 20, we shall consider the cumulative frequency. And 20, we can clearly see is already here. So we have our 20 there. So 20 goes with everything that I've circled. So having 20, we can clearly see that that class is 170 to 179, more precisely 169.5 to 179.5. We can see that the frequency is 10. We can see that fx is 1745, and of which maybe we may not use. And we can see the cumulative frequency above 20, it's actually 10. So it will be very easy for us to do the calculations. Now we have made a few observations. The median class 170 to 179. So from there we can get a few things. One, the lower class limit will be 170 minus 0.5. So L is 169.5. Then the class interval will be the upper class limit minus the lower class limit. So the upper class limit in this case is 179.5, and the lower class limit is 169.5. So the class interval shall be 10. And then we have also found that the frequency of the median class is 10. We have also found that the cumulative frequency above is 10. So having all those values, now we can plug them in our equation. So L is 169.5 plus n over 2, we found it is 20, minus C, we found it to be 10, over F, we found it as well to be 10, and I, we found it to be 10 as well. So we need to do a few things here by 10 1 by 10 1, and 20 minus 10 will be 10. So we shall end up with 169.5 plus 10, and that shall give us 179.5. So the median height correct to 1 decimal place is 179.5 centimeters.